What's going on, squad? So for you here, this is day one, which is chest and tricep, and I'm gonna walk you through exactly what you're gonna be using. Now, you're gonna be starting out with the Smith machine. That's the main machine that we're gonna be using. So with the Smith machine, the first thing that you wanna make sure is that you properly place yourself, all right? So here I'm doing it wrong on purpose. My elbows are flared out. It's coming down towards my upper chest. Now, I want to make sure that as the bar comes down, the bar is coming towards my breast line, right below the breast line. That's where you want the bar to end up, and you want to kind of set yourself up that way. A closer look here with actual weight, all right? Coming down, hit below the breast line, and I just press right back up, right? It's a smooth line here because we're using the Smith machine. The bar is not able to move. The bar is stationary. So we want to make sure that we're already placing ourselves in that position. Now here, the first set is always 16 reps, especially for those of you guys that are focused on toning. You have the rep ranges already given to you. And the very next move after the chest press is going to be dumbbell flies. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to make sure that you are bending the elbow as you come down. Get a good stretch of the pec, and then straighten your elbows out and contract your chest, okay? Bend the elbow, stretch, and squeeze. So remember that. Stretch and squeeze. That's what we're doing here. Stretch and then squeeze. As if we stretch, we bend the elbows, and then we straighten the elbows again. Bend the elbows and straighten the elbows. You don't need the dumbbells to touch. What you want to do is try to get your biceps to touch by straightening your elbows. And as you do that, you're going to be really focusing on that squeeze. All right, I'm going to give you a different angle here. Now here with this angle, I'm not focused on touching the dumbbells. I'm bending the elbows and then straightening my arms out. Bending and then straightening. So the focus is with the biceps and your pecs. As you come down, you bend the elbows, and you come up, you straighten the elbows, and you squeeze your chest. Now, if the dumbbells touch, that's not a problem at all. Don't worry about it. But that's the one thing I want you to focus on is bending the elbows at the bottom, getting a good stretch at the pecs, and then squeezing. And the very next move is going to be a one dumbbell press. So with the dumbbell press here, I want you to make sure that you're bringing the dumbbell as low as you can. Now, you want to just focus on the stretch of the pecs. You want to focus on the stretch of the chest, all right? So the way that we work these muscle fibers are we're going to stretch the pecs, the chest. We're stretching it, and then we're contracting it by squeezing up, okay? So come down, stretch, and then come up. What you want to focus on is working with the range of motion that you have. Now, you've done these before, so everyone knows exactly how you need to do a chest press, but here you want to focus on keeping your core engaged so you're not sliding or swinging, all right? Now, this is the most important part with this. You see how my elbows are flared out? This is not how you want to do it. You do not want to do that. You want to tuck the elbow in and then bring it straight up, all right? You want to do that with very good form. And here, we're going 10 reps. Make sure that you revert back to your program description so you can follow along the rep ranges here. And if you have any questions, always don't hesitate to contact me. All right, so we're doing 10 on each side. The elbows are not flared out. Elbows are tucked in, and that's exactly how we want to be able to do it. Stay focused, y'all. Make sure that you do not slide off the bench. Keep your core engaged the whole time, all right? Then the very next one is going to be the incline bench press. And with the incline bench press, what I'm focused on is the upper chest, okay? So before you even put some weight on, always set up your bar path, always get on there. Make sure that you can move the bar correctly so you know exactly how it's going to end up and how you're going to be pressing, all right? If you're using the Smith machine, your preset is always important. So once you preset, then you go ahead, you're gonna grab the weight that you need. You're gonna revert back to your training program to see how many reps you need, right? And then now you're ready to actually do the workout. So this is the first set, making sure that the bar is touching up the chest and then coming back up. Now I have more range of motion because I've been stretching. Some of you, your bar path may not be able to come down and actually touch your chest. That is not a problem, but you always want to focus on the stretch and the contraction, okay? Always focus on that, and that's how you want to do it. And the very next movement here is going to be push-ups, okay? Now with the push-ups, I want you to get as many reps as possible. Now I'm gonna go long lever here, and basically all that means is my knees are off the floor. I'm gonna get as many reps as possible, and then I'm gonna go into short lever, which is gonna be my knees on the ground. So remember, in this set, you're trying to get as many reps as possible. So get them out, squeeze them, make sure that your core is engaged, that your back is not curved, so you're not exaggerating. And then the very next movement, and once you do those sets, is going to be closed grip bench. Now, the wide grip here, you gotta understand, wide grip is when you bring your arms up and you bring them out to a Y. Closed grip, you bring your arms straight up, like that right there. That's a wide grip, right? I bring it to a Y, my elbows are tucked, and I press. Closed grip, my arms are coming straight ahead. And then the first thing that we always gonna do is we're always going to set up our bar path. So I know where my hands are supposed to go, get the bar ready, get myself in the position, and I know that I'm gonna be pressing the right way because I have not a warm-up set, but here I'm focusing on the bar path because I'm using the Smith machine. That's very important, okay? Now, once you've gotten your bar path correct, you go ahead and you set up your weight. Once you set up your weight, you know exactly where you're gonna end up. You wanna go ahead and get yourself, do the same exact thing, prepare yourself. You always wanna prepare yourself because safety is the number one option here. We do not want to play without safety because you can get hurt if you don't know what you're doing. All right. So with the close grip, you can revert back to the amount of sets and the amount of reps that's being given to your training program. And since you're using the Smith machine here, this is exactly how you're going to be pressing with the Smith machine. Now what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna also give you a different angle so you can actually see, compared to the barbell, how far up I am on my bar path, right? Because I already have everything set. I'm focusing on not just below the breast line, but this may be a little bit more exaggerated because the bottom position is the most important position. You're setting up to know exactly where the bar is going to end up. So then once you get on the Smith machine, you know exactly how you need to press, all right? So go ahead, set it up, come on down. You see how this looks? It's a little bit lower because we're focusing more on those triceps with this movement. Now, if my arms were a little bit more wider, then I will be going ahead and pressing through. That is very important because pressing to my breast line, right? So the bar is lower, so make sure that you stay a little bit lower. Very next move here is going to be a tricep pushdown. Now, the first thing you have to understand is you have a bar that you use for your tricep pushdown, and you also have a rope that's on my left hand that you're gonna be using for your tricep push bar, all right? That's very important. So go ahead and set up, and you wanna make sure that you have an overhand grip. Pick the correct weight for your rep range. My feet are engaged. And what I want you to make sure is that you hover a little bit over the cable, right? The reason is I don't want you to stand tall because that is not gonna be a good form for your elbows. Here you see how my arm, when I extend my elbow, that my arm is straight down over the ground, right? There is no angle. You want to avoid the angle. You want to be able, once you come down at the bottom position of the push down, it is straight down. That's how you want to look when you're doing your tricep push downs. All right. Now, once you have your form correct, of course, you can always warm up, but make sure that once you warm up and you know exactly the weights that you'll need, go ahead and start your rep range. And you want to make sure that you keep your form tight like I am showing you here. All right. So extend the elbow, making sure that I am pressing straight down and my arm is straight over the ground. Flex the elbow and extend. Full flexion and full extension. So you want a full range of motion here. We do not want half reps. Remember that. No half reps. We're focusing on the full range of motion. Now that you got that, the very next move is going to be skull crushers. And with our skull crushers, the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to do it with the barbell. Well, I'm using a barbell. You can use an easy bar curl. You can use a shorter, you can use a shorter bar, But what I want you to do is there's a regular way that everyone does it, and there's a way that I want you to do it because it's a lot safer. All right. So the way that most people do their skull crushers is they keep the arms straight up and they bend the elbow, and the bar comes literally over their skull, and then they extend, right? And as they extend, the bar is going to be right overhead, right? Now with that, what you have to understand is in this position here, the triceps are not engaged, okay? They are the resting pace. But when you bring your arms a little bit back, just in that position there, now my triceps are engaged all the way from the bottom, all the way to the top. So we are keeping constant tension on the triceps by just bringing the arms back and keeping it in that angle. So triceps are not engaged. There, triceps are engaged. So that means more work means more growth. All right. Now, if you're using a barbell, whatever bar you're comfortable using, that is exactly how you want to do it. Pick a position, keep your elbows there. You see how my elbows are staying in place. They're not swinging, and I'm bringing the bar over my head, and that is how you want to do it, okay? Now, the very next thing I'm going to show you is how you do it with the dumbbells. Now, for skull crushers, I prefer using dumbbells, all right? And I recommend anyone, especially if you're a beginner or someone that's kind of starting back, to use dumbbells because you're able to test out the strength levels that you have on both sides, as well as really avoiding any risk of having the bar hit your head, okay? So keeping the same thing, get that bend of the elbow, keep that angle, and what I'm adding is a twist with my wrist to really squeeze the triceps, all right? So try that out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Enjoy it in meaning it's really going to challenge you and it's really going to push you. But remember, what challenges you and what pushes you is what's going to force you to grow. So that's the mentality and the mindset that I want you to have, and I want you to keep as we keep going here, all right? And the very next move after those is going to be dips. Now, dips, the way that I want you to do it, Ron, is I want you to first start out with assisted dips. And that goes for anyone watching this. Assisted dips is where you place your knees, you pick a weight where you're able to move yourself up and down, right? This move here is a little bit more advanced. But here's what you want to make sure. You want to first make sure that you're not shrugging your shoulders, okay? You're not shrugging your shoulders and you're not swinging, but you're bending the elbow. That's the most important thing. Bend the elbow, and what I'm showing you now is how people swing, right? Now, that's working a lot of the chest, some of the core, but it's not attacking the triceps the way that it should be, all right? So you want to focus on keeping your shoulders down and back and allowing your elbows to bend, right? And that bend is stretching the triceps, and as you extend your elbows, you're squeezing contracting the triceps. Like I'm showing you there, you don't want to shrug, okay? Keep your shoulders down, right? We get up, shoulders are down, bend the elbow, right there. That's my range of motion, and it come up. Some people have more range of motion, some people don't. Work with the range of motion that you have, okay? You want to avoid injuring your shoulder. Try this workout out.